This Epstein estate document dump has got Trump and the White House paralyzed. They have no idea how to respond to this because they don't know what's coming. They don't know what's in it. And there's a reason why. Let's get into it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends. I appreciate all the support. And be sure to subscribe to me and follow me on Substack, on TikTok, on Instagram, and Facebook. Trump doesn't know what to do. He's scrambling. Now, Trump knows a lot of what's in these because he was clearly involved in much of it. But his team doesn't know. And the reason they don't know what's coming from this is because they have never had control of the items from the estate. This was in the control of Epstein's high-priced law firm that was preparing his defense after he was indicted in 2019. They were preparing these materials, preserving them, and going to use them in his legal defense. So this is stuff that the law firm has had and was forced to turn over to the House Oversight Committee. And that's why it's all so well organized, documented, preserved. These documents from the Epstein estate were supposed to be turned over to the DOJ, and it appears all of them were not. Trump has no idea what's in these. Everything else to this point, the whole Epstein files and all of it, were within the FBI and the Department of Justice. Those are the materials they were using to prosecute Epstein with. But they don't know what he had to defend himself, to use to maybe cut a deal. So that's what we're starting to see now. And that's why some of this stuff is so bad and why Trump had fought so hard to keep it secret. So this is the trove of documents that he didn't have. And he's been fighting extremely hard to keep the trove of documents that they do have completely secret. And we're starting to see why now. I've spent hours going through many of the emails, and I've really just been going through the emails and the text logs, the call logs, and that's just a pinprick of what's in this. There's still financial records, tons of information to go through, thousands and thousands and thousands of documents. And this would take me weeks and weeks to go through all of it. We know there are teams that have been working on this to be able to get this released. They had to redact things. We still are facing lots of redactions, so we don't know everything, but we know a lot right now. And based on what we're seeing, we can make a lot of conclusions that are pretty accurate about things that were going on. What I did find looking through a lot of these emails was that the Epstein operation was an operation. That the sex trafficking part of it was just a part of the overall operation. The objective that he had was to gain leverage by compromising powerful people. People with money, people that own big business, and mainly people within government or their relatives. And I found information on the Pritzkers within this. There are emails between Tom Pritzker and Epstein showing that they had some sort of relationship, some sort of friendship, and that possibly Tom Pritzker had visited Epstein at least once, maybe multiple times, and enjoyed his time with Epstein. That is conveyed in these emails. And what that all appears to be, based on what I was reading, is that Epstein was trying to compromise one of the Pritzkers while they were trying to get to Penny Pritzker, who was named as Obama's Commerce Secretary during his administration. And for whatever reason, I haven't found why yet, they were trying to get to her to gain leverage, probably because the Commerce Secretary would affect their operations, his ability to make money. Maybe they would start investigating Epstein and looking into he and all his other friends that are involved in this giant ring of crime. You see, it's not just Republicans involved in this, it's Democrats. Tom Pritzker is a Democrat. It's heads of state across the globe. And the entire world is possibly involved in this with heads of state from many different countries. I've only seen a few. And you've got to ask yourself, a lot of these communications with Epstein occurred after his first indictment. So people knew what he was. People knew what he was involved with. Heads of state knew in other countries, yet they still were involved with him, still communicating with him. And that is the kind of power and influence he had because of his ability to move money and help them with their transactions. And these are not legal transactions. And that's where investigators really need to look. It's the money laundering and the movement of money. And we're talking millions, billions of dollars that he moved for people. And that in itself opens up tons and tons of other crimes and involves other world leaders. That's just a little bit of how big this entire thing is. It is massive. It is not just about Trump. It involves hundreds of other powerful people. And we have to get to the bottom of this because young women, young people were used to commit these crimes, to gain leverage. And that is just the most horrific thing that could possibly happen. Young girls lost their innocence so that one rich guy could profit off of a bunch of other rich guys. It's disgusting, and we need to come and find the truth to all this for the victims. This now is about the victims and getting them the justice they deserve. For too long, they have had to hide, worried about what would happen to them. And now it's time for the American people to rise up and give them the voice they have not been able to have to this point. That is what needs to happen. They need to be empowered and find their justice. Let me know if you agree. Comment, like, share, spread the word, follow, subscribe, and I will see you guys back here for the 411 very soon.